So, inhaling, raise your arms up, clasp and reverse. And then turn to one side, come to the center, and then to the other side, and come to the center. Lift up your heels, and lower your heels. Turn to one side, come to the center, and turn to the other side, and come to the center, and lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders. Slide, I'm going to slide my left hand down the side. Use your other right hand to support you. You're not going to go very far. Breathing in, come up. And as you slide to the other side, have a sense that you are between two panes of glass so that you're neither leaning forward or back so much. You're opening your shoulder here, chin in, and then coming up again. Opening your arms out. Come to hug yourself, remembering which arm's on the top. Slightly lean forward and slightly bend your knees, and then just hug yourself from side to side. And then inhaling and just relaxing. And then opening your arms, and the other arm, if you can remember, don't worry if you can't, comes on top. Coming forward and then just gently hugging from side to side. And then releasing. Lift and roll your shoulders. So this next pose, step your feet hip width apart and just bend down, place your hands on the inside of your thigh and your chin will be in. So to start with, when you breathe in, you might want to lift your head up to breathe in. And as you breathe out, round your chin to your chest, the air comes out. You bring your tummy or abdomen into your inwards, and then you hold the breath out, engaging your perineum for as long as you can. And when you'd like to breathe in, just release, breathe in as you come up. And you might want to stand up. It's quite a strong pose. It's a detoxifier, and there are several steps. Breathing out, come forward, expel all the air, engage your tummy or abdomen back towards the spine, engage your perineum upwards, chin into chest, hold the breath out, and then when you need to breathe in, standing up. It's a very deep detoxifier. And then last time, breathing out, hands resting, tummy in, perineum engaged, chin engaged, pull up, hold the breath. And when you're ready, release and relax and come up. And then what I wanted to say was that release engages almost the digestive tract. It's an inner, almost like pelvic lift. It lifts everything up but from the inside. And there are three energy seals within the center of the body that are most commonly referred to in yoga. One is called the Muladhara Bandha. It pulls up at the perineum. The other one is slightly more difficult, I think, to get. It's called Uddiyana Bandha, and that is almost as you bring your tummy in, you're just lifting everything up. And the third seal is chin to chest, and those three seals together form a major, what they call Maha Bandha, and that really tones your body. So arthritis, brilliant, by the way, because it aids the detoxification process. And then do something that's very familiar and just go from side to side. and then come to the centre and circle your hands up. Open them and look up if that's good for your neck, otherwise look straight ahead and circle your hands down. And circle your hands up. Stretch out and circle your hands down, bringing your neck back to its original position. And then arthritis, hands out, fingers out, curl in, stretch out, and curl in, and stretch out, and curl in, and lower your hands. Come to the top of the mat, and we'll do a salute to the sun. So lift and roll your shoulders to set your pose. Inhale, hands together at the centre of your heart. Exhale. Breathing in, raise your hands up, either looking up or looking straight ahead. Breathing out, roll down, hands either side of your feet. Inhale, step back with your right foot, right knee down. Left foot, left knee down, in cat. Inhale, dip your back, looking either up or along the mat, according to your neck. Breathing out, round your chin to chest. Breathing in, dipping your back, looking up. And breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Tuck your toes, tummy engages inwards slightly as you lift both knees, coming into a very soft downward dog. Feel that you can adjust your feet or hands in this position. Just enjoy walking the dog by bending one knee and then the other knee, and sway your bottom from side to side. And then bend both knees, back down to the ground. Hands to the left. Right foot comes up, hands either side of your right foot. Just stretch out in your right hip. And then come to upright. Inhaling, raising your hands up, stretching your fingers again, and then breathing out as you lower your hands back down to either side of your foot. Tuck your left toes underneath, engage your perineum, tummy back towards your abdomen a little bit, lift your left knee and step left foot to right foot. Place your hands on your shins and just enjoy the stretch from your tailbone to the top of the head. And then just dip your knees, press your feet into the ground, and as you breathe in, roll up vertebra by vertebra, standing, and carry on raising your hands up, stretching your fingers, looking ahead or up. Breathing out, lower your hands, lift and roll your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind your back, knuckles are aiming towards the ground. And then separate your hands, slide them down the backs of your legs. Hands either side of your feet, bend your knees. Left foot back, left knee on the ground. Right foot back, right knee on the ground. Adjust, you're in cat now. Dip your back. Breathing out, round your back, chin to chest. Dip your back, looking up or straight along the mat. Rounding chin to chest as you tuck your toes, lifting up into downward dog. Make any adjustments with your hands or your feet. Walk the dog by bending one knee and then the other knee. Swaying from side to side. And then come back down to the floor. We're kneeling. So I'm going to slide my left knee forward, and then I'm going to turn, my left hand comes forward also and slightly towards the centre. Then I'm going to turn towards the right and stretch and extend my right foot. Feel that I'm lengthening along the body, chin tucks in. Then optionally you can extend your right hand. So you've got that stretch all the way on the right side. If you keep your foot on the ground, you'll have a greater stretch, lateral stretch. But there is the invitation, of course, to lift your right leg, stretch out more, extend your heel. And if you want to take it a step further and you don't wobble too much, you could take hold of your right ankle and just stretch back like a floor ballerina. And then release. Hands back down onto the earth. And come back to cat. Just wave your bottom from side to side. And then do the same on the other side. So you're going to slide your right knee forward. Your right hand also comes forward and slightly to the centre of the mat. Slide your left leg back. Your left foot is connecting with the earth. Turn the foot. And then come to stretch. Turn to the left. And then just stretch in your lateral stretch. Chin comes into the chest. It's almost like a gate, not quite like a gate pose. It's a very nice stretch along the lateral side. And then you can take your variations or just stay here, so you can lift your back foot up. And you can take your dancer's pose or token dancer's pose if that suits you. And then return hands back to cat. And then just wave your bottom from side to side. Move your hands to the right to allow space for your left foot to step up. And then come back to what I call kneel up. And inhaling, raising your hands up. Either looking ahead or looking up, stretching your fingers. Your thumbs come back towards you and your little fingers go away from you, really stretching them out. And then breathing out, lower your hands, come forward. Hands either side of your front left foot as you tuck your left toes underneath. And when I say engage your tummy, I mean just slightly engage your lower abdominal muscles back towards your spine and get about 10 or 20% of your capacity. So it protects your back. At the same time, it's quite easy to lift your perineum, engage that, then lift your right knee up and step your right foot to your left foot. Hands on the shins as you lengthen from the base of the spine all the way to the top of the head. And then breathing out, bend your knees, press your feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. And then inhaling, raising your arms up, stretch your fingers out, and breathing out, lower your hands. And lift and roll your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, hands together. Inhale, hands up. Breathing out, lower your hands, bend your knees, down to the floor. Right foot back, left foot back. Now this time unusually, stay high, coming into downward dog. And just sway your bottom from side to side. Your knees can be bent if that feels better for you, or straighten your legs a little bit. Heels don't have to touch the ground. And then come to your knees. Dip your back, cat. Round your back, chin to chest. You can walk your hands forward to come into what I call up dog, as long as that's again appropriate for you, looking either straight ahead or up to the mat. If that's too much, then come back to cat. And then bring your hands to the left. Right foot comes up. Kneel up. And raise your left hand up to the ceiling. Tummy in. Turn towards the right and almost do prayer position. Resting your left elbow. And turning chin to chest. It's a rotation. And then come to the other side. Hands either side. Tuck your left toes underneath. Lift your left knee and step left knee to right foot.
Hands on your shins, lengthen from your spine to your top of your head, and then bend your knees as you roll up vertebra by vertebra.
And then lower your hands. Lift and roll your shoulders, clasp your hands behind you, knuckles towards the floor. Roll down.
Step back into dog. Feel that you can adjust your hands either side, just sway gently from side to side. Bend both knees down to the ground and cat. Dipping your back, rounding your back, chin to chest. And then you can either do that again, or you can walk your hands forward into a soft up dog.
Only if this feels appropriate for you, otherwise keep to cat-cow.
And then come with your hands back to cat again. Just slightly adjust, go sway from side to side. And then move your hands to the right to allow your left foot to come up. Kneel up, you can always adjust your left foot out to the edge of the mat. Inhaling, raising your hands up, looking ahead or up.
Stretch your fingers and then lower your left arm, take your right arm and elbow to the left leg. Coming across the side, hands together in prayer. Press down with your right elbow to lift your body up. Now then, your palms should be level with your heart centre, which is easier said than done. Your chin tucks in still to allow you space and to protect your back. And then roll back, hands either side of the left foot. Tuck your left toes, the right toes under. Lift your right leg and step your right foot to your left foot. And then hands on your shins as you just lengthen along your spine. From the tailbone to the top of the head, bend your knees, curl in. And as you press down with your feet and roll up vertebra by vertebra, Coming to standing. Inhaling, raising your hands up, hold your thumbs and just go gently from side to side. And then lower your hands, bring your hands to the heart centre, and then lowering, come to a seated position. And come to a cross-legged position. Hands on your knees. Sit up and then round. Sit up and then round, chin to chest. Sit up, you're holding your knees or your shins, rounding chin to chest. And sit up, rounding chin to chest. Sit up and rounding chin to chest. Come to a seated position. Feel you can adjust your hands at any point. And then just make a little circle in one direction. How big you make your circle is up to you. You inhale as you come back and lengthen your spine, and you breathe out as you come forward and swirl round. And then gently reverse your circle, going in the opposite direction. The circle remains and the movement remains entirely within your control. And if you're interested in what part of you or what aspect of the body this is targeting, it's particularly the lower abdominal area. So all your internal organs. And then come to stillness. Still holding your knees, sit up. Slightly engage your lower abdomen back to your spine, about 10 or 20% of your capacity. Engage your perineum. And as I'm going to take my left hand to my right knee, and my right hand goes behind me, so this becomes a rotation. Press down with your right hand to lengthen your spine, and breathing out, very gently turn to look over your right shoulder, but your turn is as little or as much as you would like. And your head is the last thing to turn. Keep pressing down as you breathe in and breathing out, turn. Press down with your right hand to lengthen you and breathing out, turn. Just check that your right shoulder is away from the ear, not coming up. Take an in and an out breath here. And then just come back to the centre. Hold both knees. Sit up, lengthen your spine. And this time, I'm going to turn to my left. So my right hand holds my left knee. My left hand goes behind me. Pressing down with my right hand, or my left hand, or my left fingers. Lengthen your spine as you breathe in. And breathing out, turn to the left. Inhaling, pressing down on the left side as you lengthen your spine. And breathing out, use your right hand to assist you in your turn. Your head's the last thing to turn. Your left shoulder should be pressed away from your ear. And once you're settled, just take an in and an out breath where you are. And then come back to the centre. Hands on the knees or shins as you breathe in and lengthen once more. And then to compensate for the rotation that we've made, you can either just nod forward, thinking from the base of the spine, or just move your hands forward to come slightly forward and realign the spine from the twist that we've made. And then sitting up. And then just hug your knees into your chest. You can, if you want to, either hold your knees or hold underneath your thighs and lift your feet off the ground. And you can stay there. If you want to, I'm clasping my hands underneath. Extend your feet, you can do. This is very much an abdominal control. The instruction here is easier said than done, is to keep your body upright, to engage everything, not let yourself slide back, but it's very easy to just lean backwards. And then bend your knees, come with your feet back down to the floor and just hug forward just to, again, sort your back out. And then come to sitting up and come now to lying. So, addressing the back and back issues, if we come to lying Shavasana, extend your heels, both of them, and then just relax. Hands, palms down. And as you breathe in, extend your left heel, feel that opening in the right hip, and then raise your right arm, bending at the elbow, and stretch your right arm up above you. Your chin tucks down, so you're really stretching out your right side. And if you want to then increase that stretch, just move your right arm over towards the left. If you want to increase it further, you can join your left arm, just hold your thumbs together, engage both feet, and just move over like a banana, crescent moon over to the left, and that will stretch your right side. And if you want to increase it even further, you cross your right ankle over your left, that equally stretches you out even more. And then just come back to the centre and cross your ankles. You can keep your hands up if you like that variation, in which case you would cross your left ankle over your right
Stretch your hands up, your heels away, and then just gently move towards the right. And that will stretch your left side. Come back to the centre. Breathing out, uncross your ankles, breathing out, lower your hands and hug your knees into your chest. And rock from side to side. Now place both feet on the ground. Cross your right leg over your left. And then just let both knees drop to the right. Your left hip will lift. Your hands can rest on your abdomen, or they can be raised above you like a baby sleeping with the elbows bent. That's quite strong. Or they can just rest on your collarbones, wherever that works for you. Tummy in as you bring your knees upright and uncross your legs. You can keep the hands where they are. Just wave your knees from side to side. And then cross your left leg over your right. Engage your lower abdomen in slightly, engage your perineum, and let both knees drop forward towards the left. Your right hip lifts. You could have a cushion or support underneath both knees so that you don't go down so far. And this should feel quite nice opening on the right side. Taking in and out breath. Engage your perineum, lower abdomen in to support you as you come back up to the centre with your knees and uncross your legs. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can drop your hands to the abdomen. Knees are hip width apart, and just let the knees drift. Both knees go to the right, your left hip lifts. Knees come to the centre, and both knees go to the left, and your right hip lifts. This is exploring the relationship of the hips, or the limbs, the lower limbs to the torso, and very much comes within something called somatic movement, which effectively looks at where the limbs join the torso is where we can get muscle contraction and coming forward, and the aging process, all of which is these exercises was designed to address that in a very gentle way. And you can then look at the neck and the top of the spine by, similarly, as your knees go to the right, your head can turn to the left. Knees and head come back to the centre, and knees go to the left, head goes to the right. Now, when your head goes to the right, you can either look right along the mat so that your head turns more, or you can just do a marginal turn with your head and your eyes look upwards, and each movement is fine. It just engages slightly different muscles. So choose which neck movement feels better for you. And come back to the centre. And then taking your right leg, bend your right leg, place your right ankle on your left top of your leg. So you're opening your leg out into a 4. And this is an alternative to pigeon pose. It's not putting any weight on your hips. And you can just rest your right hand on the inside of your right thigh. Your left hand can rest on your abdomen, or you can open out and place your left hand on your left hip, which opens out a little space for your lungs. And this alternative pigeon pose is, well, both of them are very good for the lower hips, immune system as well at the lower level. But as you open out your knee, you'll begin to access a little muscle that joins the, or is partly implicated in joining the top of the leg to the hip. It's quite a strong muscle, it's quite small. It can often get contracted, or it can often give problems, and it can often be linked to back problems, but it's often overlooked.
And if you want to explore this movement any further, lift up your left foot and clasp your hands underneath your left thigh. Just check if your chin's gone up to the ceiling, because if it has, then lower your chin back down again and lengthen your leg. And then if you lift purposefully your left knee even further in towards you, that's really going to stretch out that right side of your hip. You have the invitation to engage your heels or not. Classically, some people do, some teachers do. There is a view that it's wasting energy, so it's entirely up to you. Sometimes I think engaging my top right heel gives me a little bit of stretch, but then just release your knees, your feet down. Take your right ankle off, both feet are on the floor, knees are up, and then just basically wave your knees from side to side. And then come to the other side, adjust your right foot if you need to, pick up your left foot, hugging your left knee into your chest, and then turning the left knee out to the left, placing your right ankle on top of your right leg, your left ankle on top of your right leg, and then just sway your knees from side to side. You can place your left hand on the inside of your left thigh, hands resting on the abdomen. And then you can take this a stage further by engaging your tummy, lower abdomen in slightly, perineum in, lift up your right foot, clasp behind your right thigh, check your chin's not shot up, and either engage the heels or not. And then you can lift your right leg towards your face. It will only go a millimetre, and you'll feel that stretch on your left thigh, and that is your piriformis muscle, that muscle that gets implicated in so many back issues, but often is forgotten about. And then just release your foot back down to the ground. And take your left foot off. And then bend both knees into your chest, rocking once more from side to side. And then slide your hands down your shins. Bring your elbows either side, and then just, it's like a lying Baddha Konasana or Cobra's pose. I'm going to hold, for me, I'm holding just above my ankles on the shins. My big toes are vaguely coming together, but not quite. And how much you pull on your ankles, again, opens your inner groin. So just take a breath here, in and out. And then this is an invitation, and we're all different. You can hold anywhere on your leg. I'm going to hold my big toes and do your inner goddess pose by literally opening your legs in a V. If that's not possible, then keep your knees bent and just rock from side to side. And if your big toes are not accessible to you, then just hold your ankles or shins and just rock from side to side. So even here you've got a choice. If you rock up, you can choose where you angle your lower spine. It's only a millimetre or two, but you can just let your bottom go towards the ground more and anchoring your spine towards the floor, or just go with the flow. But just find somewhere that's comfortable and just rock gently from side to side. Or you can stretch your legs out totally, and stretching your legs out totally will really activate something called the psoas muscle, which extends along the inner legs. And that is part of our leg support, so that's also quite good to stretch that. And then bend both knees in, hugging your knees into your chest once more. And this time, hug your knees into your chest. Still hold the knees as you let your knees move away from you. Hug your knees into your chest. Let your knees extend away from you. And hug your knees into your chest. And let your knees extend away. You're pulsing along the lower spine. Hug your knees into your chest, so you're encouraging blood to get to that area. And if you do this a few times, you might find that you feel a tingling along the base of your spine, hugging in and letting them move away,
hugging in and then letting them move away, and hugging in and letting them move away. And then supporting your knees or under your thighs to bring your feet back down to the ground. And then adjust your feet and knees. We're going to do a bridge variation, but we'll start with a pelvic tilt. So palms down, flattening your back to the ground as you're going to lift your bottom, and then release. There's a little gap underneath your spine. Hugging, flattening your back, pressing your hands down as if you're lifting your bottom, and then releasing. You can feel that your spine is supported above and below. It's everything about your body is supported, so you can really afford to relax into the ground and explore your muscle movement. And then the bridge part is pressing your feet into the ground, actually lifting your bottom as little as much as you'd like, then rolling your hands up, your chin goes down to your chest, stretching your hands, arms above you, and then start breathing out, and then your arms will naturally lower, hug your knees into your chest. And then extend your feet to the ceiling. Slide your hands to the inner thighs. And again, we're back to inner goddess. Extend your heels and just rock from side to side. Bend your knees, hug them into the chest. Lower your feet to the ground. Palms down by your side. As you flatten your back, lift your bottom. Chin tucks in, then gradually bend your elbows, raise your arms up above you, chin really comes in, stretch out, start to breathe out, then start to lower your arms and then your bottom back down to the ground. Then hug your knees into your chest. Slide your hands down to the inner thighs to support your legs as you open them up into a V, extend your heels, and then bend your knees, hugging your knees into your chest, and just gently rock from side to side again. And then place your feet on the floor, hip width apart. Hands rest on the abdomen, and then just let your head rock gently from side to side. Your eyes can be closed or open, relaxed, whatever you want. So you breathe out as your head turns to the side, breathe into the centre, and breathe out as your head turns to the other side. Into the centre, and breathe out as your head turns to the other side. And bring your head back to the centre. So this next movement is a breath work, and it's meditation. You leave your elbows on the ground, your knees are up, bent up to the ceiling, your feet are hip width apart. And your hands depends how much you want your elbows at, your hands will sort of naturally rest on your solar plexus level, just by the diaphragm, below the diaphragm. Leaving your elbows where they are, breathing in, just open your hands out to the side, as little or as much as you would like. Pause, and breathing out, just lower your hands gently back down to your diaphragm. Inhaling, open your hands out to the side. The weight of your upper arms is supported by the floor, your elbows are on the ground. Breathing out, lower your hands back down to your diaphragm, solar plexus. Inhaling, hands out. Just feel the air between the fingers. You're connecting to a sense of touch. Breathing out, lower your hands back down. It is in the heart area, breathing in. Because the heart connects to the hands and the element of air. Breathing out, lower. You can bring your hands to your heart as well if you want, that's just slightly higher up. Just where your hands naturally fall, breathing in, opening your hands out, breathing out, lowering your hands back down again. In, as your hands float out, pause, breathing out as you lower your hands back down. Breathing in, hands out, breathing out as your hands float back down. Just leave your hands there for a moment. And then take one hand, it doesn't matter which. Keep one hand where it is, and take the other hand and just place your other hand on your forehead. And you can just very gently, either with the flats of your fingers, massage around a little circle on your forehead, or third eye area, or just let your fingers trace across the centre of your forehead and off. Always moving in the same direction, trace and off. You choose which feels better for you. Just connecting to the third eye and also the pineal and pituitary glands, part of your master metabolic control. And then just to finish, take both hands, take the heel of your hands and place them at your almost your temple level. And then as you close your hands all and circle them around your head, your fingertips will meet generally in the top of your crown in that general direction. And just hold your head. You can press your heels of your hands against the side of the head and then release. And just slightly pulse the backs and heels of your hands into the side of the head and release. There's a little dent on the side of your head, or quite a big dent. And you can keep your heels of your hands there, or just move your heels of your hands slightly back towards your ears. And feel the warmth from your hands just translating into the crown of the head at the top is where we connect our antennae to outside vibrations, hidden waves that are floating around. So this disconnects us in a way from the outside world. It's an introspective practice. With deeply calming, for tinnitus or hearing issues, you can just press the heels of your hands and release, and then just press and just move the heels of your hands around to suit you. It's very good for accessing that very difficult area. It's one of the things for tinnitus. You can press the heels of your hands in and then just massage around that area as well. But all around that area, and you have the dents also connecting to energy points within the both the Chinese and also Ayurvedic system. And then very, very gently release your hands back down, releasing and relaxing. They can be either palms up and open along your side, your knees can be bent, or they can be relaxing along the ground in Shavasana, whichever works for you. And your hands can also be resting on your abdomen. And take a moment to set your intention for the day, your sankalpa. It's can be for yourself, or it can be for anybody you know. It's a well-wishing vibration, a thought for the day, wishing someone or yourself well. And repeat that mentally a couple of times to set your intention. And then just breathing in and breathing out. And then choose a colour, any colour for today, and imagine that you are in an auric egg, surrounded by that colour, both inside your egg and just outside your egg. The egg confers protection for the day, but you're bathed in your favourite colour, your colour of choice for today. Everything positive can come in, but nothing negative can come in. Everything negative can float out. Only retain and allow positive thoughts and emotions to remain or to come in. And that protection is set now for the rest of the day, so easy to do, floating in your favourite colour. And then very gently you can stay here and relax, drifting off for the rest of a little bit longer. If you want to come to a seated position to finish the class, you're welcome to do that too. In which case, just be aware of parts of your body connecting to the mat or wherever you are on the floor. And move your fingers and toes to however you want, just to reconnect you to the ground, earthing you. And then you might want to hug your knees into your chest. And you might want to roll to one side. The right side rolls away from the heart, so it's less pressure on the body. To very gently take your time not to disturb all the relaxing energy that we've created for ourselves today, but come to roll, taking your time on your side. Really taking your time to adjust your body from a lying position. If you're joining me from upright, if not, just stay where you are. And then just taking your hands once more to your heart centre, bowing your head, and thank you very much for joining me today.